There is a rule in storytelling that we all instinctively follow. We trust the person telling the story. When a doctor speaks, we listen. When a detective investigates, we follow. For 6 episodes, you have walked alongside Theo Faber. You have seen a dedicated psychotherapist fighting a corrupt system. You have seen a broken man trying to save a silent woman. You have seen him risk his career, his reputation, and his safety to find out why Alicia Berenson stopped speaking. But in a psychological thriller, trust is the most dangerous weapon of all. What if the person holding the flashlight is the one who cut the power? What if the detective is also the villain? Welcome back to Stories with Consequences. This is episode 7 of The Silent Patient. We have reached the climax, the moment where the two timelines, the past and the present, crash into each other. Today, the mask falls off. We are about to learn that we haven't been watching a doctor cure a patient. We have been watching a predator hunting a secret. Prepare yourself. Everything you think you know about Theo Faber is a lie. To truly understand the tragedy of Alicia Berenson, we have to stop looking at her. We have to look at the man sitting in the chair across from her. Months before the murder, long before he ever applied for a job at the Grove, Theo Faber's life fell apart. He discovered that his wife, Kathy, the woman he loved more than anything in the world, was having an affair. It wasn't a suspicion, it was a fact. He found the emails. He saw the messages. Most men would scream. Most men would file for divorce. But Theo went quiet. He became a ghost in his own life. He didn't confront her. Instead, he decided to find the other man. He needed to know who had stolen his life. He tracked the emails. He followed the digital trail. And he found a name: Gabriel Berenson. This is the twist that recontextualizes every single scene we have watched so far. Theo didn't take the job at the Grove because he was a benevolent doctor. He took the job because he was obsessed. He was obsessed with the man who ruined his marriage, and by extension, the woman that man was married to. He wanted to be close to the wreckage. He wanted to understand what kind of man Gabriel was, so Theo began to stalk him. He found their house in that wealthy, quiet neighborhood. He parked his car down the street. He watched Gabriel come and go, and that is when he saw her. Alicia, do you remember the diary entries from episode 5? Alicia wrote about a man in the park, a shadow standing by the trees, a figure watching her paint. She was terrified. She told Gabriel she was being stalked, and he told her she was crazy. We now know the truth. The man in the park was Theo. He watched her for days, but here is the complex part. Theo didn't hate Alicia in a twisted way. He felt a connection to her. He saw her painting in the garden, looking lonely. He saw her waiting for a husband who was currently cheating on her with Theo's own wife. Theo realized that he and Alicia were victims of the same betrayal. But as the days went on, Theo's anger toward Gabriel grew. He didn't just want to watch anymore. He wanted to reveal the truth. He wanted to explode the lie that Gabriel was living. So, on that hot summer night, while a storm was brewing over London, Theo made a decision. He put on a long coat. He pulled a mask over his face, and he walked toward the house. He entered through the unlocked door. When Alicia confronted him, he overpowered her. When they woke up, the nightmare had truly begun. Alicia and Gabriel were bound to chairs in their living room, helpless. Theo stood before them. He wasn't there for money. He wasn't there to hurt them physically. He was there to break them psychologically. He revealed his identity to Gabriel. "You know who I am," Theo said. "You know my wife." Gabriel's face went pale. He realized his sins had come back to haunt him. But Alicia, she was confused. She didn't know this man. She was an innocent bystander in a war between two men. Theo wanted to prove a point. He wanted to show Alicia exactly what kind of man she had married. He held a gun. It was empty, but they didn't know that he pointed it at Gabriel. Then, he slowly moved the barrel and pointed it at Alicia. "I am going to give you a choice," Theo said softly. "Only one of you walks away from this. You choose Gabriel, who pays the price. You or your wife." This was the test. The ultimate test of love. Alicia held her breath. She looked at her husband, the man she adored, the man who was her entire world. She waited for him to speak. She waited for him to say, "Take me, spare her." That is what love is, isn't it? Sacrifice. But Gabriel Berenson was not a hero. He was a coward. Fear took over his body. He started to weep. He looked at Theo, his eyes begging for mercy, and he whispered the words that would kill Alicia's soul. "I don't want to die. I want to live. Take her, please. Take her." And that was the moment Alicia died. The bullet hadn't been fired yet, but she was dead. Think back to episode 4, the childhood trauma. We learned that her father, in a moment of grief, had wished she died instead of her mother. That wound had never healed. And now, 20 years later, history had repeated itself. The man she chose to replace her father had just made the exact same choice. Why didn't she die? Became taker. I want to live. The two men she loved the most had both rejected her existence to save themselves. Her mind couldn't handle the magnitude of that betrayal. It snapped. She went silent. The silence that would baffle doctors for 6 years started in that chair. Theo lowered the gun. He was disgusted. He had proven his point. Gabriel was a traitor. Theo fired the gun into the ceiling to terrify them, and then he ran out into the night. He left them physically alive. But he had no idea what he had just unleashed. She saw the gun on the floor where Theo had dropped it. She picked it up. She didn't kill him because of the affair. She didn't even know about the affair yet. She killed him because, in her eyes, he had already killed her. She pulled the trigger 5 times. Justice was instant, and now, back in the hospital, Theo closes the diary. His hands are shaking. He looks up. Alicia is awake. She isn't staring at the wall anymore. She is looking right at him. She knows who he is. The monster has returned. Thanks for watching episode 7. The truth is out. But the danger isn't over. Theo is now trapped in a room with the only witness to his crime. Subscribe for the finale. In the final episode, silence becomes deadly.